Welcome to The Explainer. I'm your host and optimization specialist, and today we're doing something a little different. We're treating the Cambridge AS and A-Level Arabic Language 8680 exam like a high-stakes e-sport. Specifically, we're speed-running paper 4, where you have to choose at least one text from each section. Picture this. You've got an active run timer counting down, and a mark velocity tracker monitoring exactly how many marks you're pulling per minute. Most students walk into this paper, their timer starts ticking, and they immediately start bleeding marks because they don't grasp the underlying mechanics. They get bogged down in textbook fluff, they use bloated essay frameworks, and they literally run out of time before hitting the high tariff checkpoints. But not us. Today, we're optimizing your route. We're going to break down how to deploy rapid essay frameworks, pinpoint exactly what the examiners are coding into the mark scheme, and eliminate every single wasted action to conquer those massive high-scoring questions before the clock hits zero. So get your game face on, let's get started. Okay, let's dive into this map layout. We've got 4 distinct levels to clear today. Number 1, core stats and multipliers. Number 2, the optimal procedural route. Number 3, fixing performance leaks. And finally, number 4, the evaluation masterclass.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, core stats and multipliers.
Now, before we can even talk about advanced time saves and hyper-optimized essay strategies, we have to look at your base cognitive domains. To clear the foundational levels of this paper, you need knowledge and understanding, analysis, and evaluation. You literally have to deploy all 3 of these domains simultaneously. But here's the catch. To execute them under intense time pressure, you have to actively channel the 5 Cambridge Learner attributes. Let me break down what these actually look like in the arena. Confidence means you don't sit there wasting 5 precious minutes second-guessing your thesis statement about a specific Arabic text. You commit to your analytical framework and you push forward. Responsibility is taking total ownership of your time budget. You don't write a massive 3-page response for a minor prompt and leave yourself 0 time for the heavy hitters. Reflectiveness is your self-awareness. It's looking at your own paragraph mid-run and realizing, wait, my evidence just dropped out of alignment with the actual question. Innovation is how uniquely you structure those arguments, and engagement is what keeps you intensely, unbrokenly focused on the source texts. Balancing these stats is absolutely crucial for a top-tier run.
And right here is a massive combo multiplier hiding in plain sight. This is pulled straight from the developer notes, the principal examiner reports. They explicitly highlight that candidates referencing cross-topic connections achieve significantly higher marks. In the context of paper 4, where the rules literally force you to choose at least one text from each section, the syllabus is begging you to synthesize. If you were just analyzing text A in its own little bubble, and then text B in its own bubble, your mark velocity is stuck at a baseline level. But the absolute second you draw a thematic, structural, or linguistic connection between a concept in Section 1 and a text in Section 2, your mark potential just explodes. You instantly elevate your grade by proving to the examiner that you see the entire interconnected landscape of the Arabic texts, not just isolated, disconnected paragraphs. It's a total game changer.
Moving on to Section 2, the optimal procedural route.
Let's move to and see how this builds into a technical methodology. You need a way to process exam stimulus materials rapidly without losing an ounce of precision. So here's your standardized, optimized 6-step sequence. Step 1, deconstruct the question. This is your 60-second command word scan. Take a hypothetical candidate. Let's call him Sam. Sam is a ridiculously fast writer. He moves at incredibly high speeds, but he triggers massive marking penalties because he skips this step. If the command word is evaluate and Sam just describes, his entire output drops in value. Step 2, extract relevant data. Be ruthless here, only pull textual evidence that directly serves your thesis. Step 3, select your analytical framework. Step 4, execute with clear notation. Step 5, verify your results. And Step 6, present with correct terminology. Speed without this procedural route is literally just a faster way to fail. You have to hit every single one of these 6 checkpoints in order to keep your velocity up.
This brings us to the method mark strategy. This is your ultimate safety net. The core principle here is that marks are awarded for the process itself, not just the final shiny conclusion. In text-based analysis, this means making your logical steps completely 100% transparent to the examiner. If you break an essay prompt into clear, logical steps, interpret the Arabic text systematically, and show exactly how you arrived at your interpretation, you are locking in guaranteed method marks. Even if your timer is flashing red and your final conclusion lacks total polish because the clock ran out, the examiner can see your procedural framework and will award you marks for that logical process. Whatever you do, do not just drop a conclusion onto the page out of nowhere. Show the analytical steps that got you there.
Now, looking at the theoretical foundations directly from the syllabus, we see a demand for very precise practical application skills. The syllabus explicitly requires you to carefully analyze literary devices, structure coherent arguments, quote effectively in Arabic, and demonstrate a deep understanding of cultural and thematic contexts. The underlying requirement for Paper 4 is structural perfection and professional formatting. When you're analyzing these texts, your presentation has to strictly follow literary conventions. Your Arabic textual evidence needs to perfectly balance your thesis, and you have to evaluate the performance of the text with absolute structural clarity to remain examiner compliant. There's no room for sloppy formatting in a high-level run.
Let's shift gears to Section 3, Fixing Critical Performance Leaks.
Treat this next part as an urgent developer warning. The examiners are waving a massive red flag here, stating, candidates consistently confuse key terminology. Always define terms before using them in extended responses. Let's look at another hypothetical candidate. We'll call him Alex. Alex gets totally bogged down. He loves to dive straight into detailing secondary evidence points without defining his terms. This is a massive time sink. If you throw a complex literary or thematic term into your essay without establishing its parameters in your introduction, the examiner cannot confidently award you marks for higher-order analysis. You have to establish the rules of your argument before you start playing the game. Define the term concisely, get it out of the way, and then immediately pivot into your high-velocity analysis of the Arabic text. Skipping definitions causes a catastrophic drop in your mark velocity.
Time split check. Before we execute this next top-band paragraph strategy and lock in an A-star grade velocity, you need to optimize your own subscription feed. Subscribe to Ace the Exams right now and turn on all notifications. No matter if you are running IGCSE, O-Levels, AS, or A-Levels, this is your tracking center to outpace the clock and beat the examiners. All right, timer is back on. And this slide brilliantly illustrates the difference between our two players. On the left, we have the time sink, missing formatting, generic, uncontextualized answers, and undefined terminology. This is a bloated, heavily penalized response. On the right, the time save, proper structure, context-specific responses, clearly defined terms, streamlined and totally examiner compliant. Let's say Alex and Sam are working together in a co-op challenge arena trying to fix a broken paragraph. To get them back on track, we deploy the Peel structure as an optimization template: point, evidence, explanation, link. We rewrite the text line by line using this exact structure, ensuring every single sentence serves a clear purpose. If your answer isn't specifically tied to the exact Arabic source text given, you are in a time sink. Context is literally everything.
Finally, we enter Section 4, the Evaluation Masterclass.
We are now entering the final phase of our speed run. This is where we lock in the high-tariff, higher-order assessment marks. So many candidates get stuck on the analytical level and just run out of steam before they push through to evaluation. To hit those highest evaluative bands, you need to execute this rapid-fire critical analysis checklist. You must evaluate alternatives, compare different approaches, make justified recommendations, and aggressively check for reasonableness. Remember that Peel structure we just talked about? Point, evidence, explanation, link? Well, to get the absolute highest evaluation marks, that link portion has to do some seriously heavy lifting. It needs to smoothly transition into counterarguments, compare the approach of the text you're reading to an alternative, check if the author's conclusion is actually reasonable, and justify exactly why one perspective is structurally stronger. You are not just describing or summarizing anymore, you are judging.
So the crucial point is this: deconstructing the actual quality of the evidence is how you build a structurally perfect argument. I'm handing the controls over to you for a live time trial right now. Challenge 1, the 60-second trend extraction. Picture a highly complex paragraph from your Arabic source text flashing on your screen. You have 60 seconds to extract the single highest value thematic trend. Done? Okay, challenge 2, spot the performance leak. Imagine looking at a flawed student essay. You need to find the exact line where descriptive fluff costs them 4 critical marks. How do you find it? You look for where they failed to do these 4 things on the screen. Identify limitations of data. Spot assumptions made. Find alternative interpretations. Assess the effect on conclusions. The biggest leak in exam performance happens when a student just blindly accepts the text at face value. They completely fail to spot the underlying assumptions. The absolute moment you write, however, this conclusion relies on the assumption that you are instantly scoring top-band evaluation marks. You are tearing the source material apart and showing the examiner how it works.
Our mark velocity tracker has officially hit 100%. Let's distill this entire explainer session down into 3 universal optimization rules. Rule 1, the 60-second command word scan. Literally never write a single word until you know exactly what the prompt's command word demands. Rule 2, the marks per minute budget allocation. Do not spend 10 minutes on a minor checkpoint while the clock drains. Rule 3, the final 5-minute quality review pass. Always check your structural formatting and ensure every single one of your literary terms is defined. Now I want you to look at the question on the screen. Which specific Paper 4 framework or unit do you find the hardest to clear under time pressure? Identify your own performance leaks, apply today's optimization strategies, and patch them. Drop a comment below sharing your hardest unit, make sure to subscribe to Ace the Exams, and hit that notification bell for more speedrun tutorials. Thanks for joining the run, and I'll see you in the next explainer.